You want to watch the shoelaces. Shoelaces tuck in.
And you might want to adjust your foot back and forth unless that feels comfortable.
Yeah, because I think that's a good spot, because then I can lock my wrist there and it's right above it. I don't gotta like hold it out.
And holding the block a little bit farther out than what I was.
Well, my brother ain't gave up yet. He's got a nice ember pile, and we've had it smoking, but just not quite there for an ember. So he's gonna give it another shot and see if he can actually get an ember. For the first time in his life.
Just giving out.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, it's the wrist just holding that block.
Man, I actually seen a spark come off of it.
Yeah. I gave it a couple of tries.
Whew. I think what's happening is you're getting the dust pile, and then this gets polished.
And it's not going to take me so long to get the pile. Or something, yeah.
Because I'll go ahead and give it a try with this just like it is and see if it's tough to, if I'm having a hard time spinning it.
Yeah, because last time it didn't seem like it did. Because it's a huge pile of the dust. I mean, it's just a huge, huge pile there.
I mean, this thing is hot as can be, still. Because it's right there. It's ready to go.
Yes, it's all about keeping that locked.
Yeah, it's
so
wanting to bind.
Yeah. Yes, I bet right now there's an ember because it's just smoking. Big time, so it's like. Yeah. Make it look so easy.
Well, my arms have toughened up a little bit because that was actually tough. This wasn't wanting to spin very well at all.
Yeah, it seems very much just a very solid stance, I guess, or a very solid, everything's very, I don't say precise, but everything's sort of locked in place when you're doing it. Your body wasn't moving, didn't seem like, hand didn't seem to be moving, everything was very steady and very solid.
Can you see it in the video?
Yep.
Can you see it glowing?
Oh yeah. Yeah, 'cause it's a big old pile. It's a big old ember. Oh yeah, I mean you blow on it and sparks are just falling off too.
Yeah, that works good. Box elder.
Never ending if you know how to do it.
I mean, this is the very first hole I started in this fireboard of box elder, and I think I've gotten 4 or 5 embers now.
Yeah.
Plus my brother has tried probably 5 or 10 times, and I think I tried 2 or 3 times in there, just getting things adjusted. So that single hole and single notch has made either 4 or 5 embers already.
Well, and good size. I mean, it's the first time I've seen it, but it looked very good size to me. I mean, that's...
Yeah, they are big compared to what I was getting with the autumn olive. But then again, with the autumn olive, my spindle wasn't nearly as big, and my notch wasn't nearly as big either. But those are both box elder. It gets polished up easily, but once you fill up your notch with powder, if you just stop and just barely trim that black polished surface off the spindle, you can crank out an ember pretty quick. And I haven't done anything to this after the first one. I haven't cleared it out to remove the polish or anything. It's polished up pretty well, and I think at this point the only thing wearing down is the actual spindle, and it's really not wearing down very much. This works really good. I'm big time impressed with that. And this fat wood bearing block works awesome. Pretty much completely frictionless bearing. The tip doesn't wear down nearly as much as with oak, or well, I tried cottonwood. I didn't give it a very good shot with the cottonwood bark though, but fat wood for a bearing block works awesome. I've only had to trim that down maybe 2 or 3 times, and only just a little bit. And this is the same hole we've been using in the bearing block, the same socket, and it has hardly grown in size at all, really.
It doesn't look very burnt either, or charred or anything, really.
No, it pretty much just polishes up.
Yeah.
It heats up a little, and then it puts a polish on it, and you got a extremely good frictionless bearing. Not too shabby. And as much as I hate to say it, the paracord, the 550 cord, works really good for a bowstring for the FireBow. I mean, we've been cranking and cranking on this, and we haven't had to tighten it up once yet. It hasn't slipped at all whatsoever. We haven't had to put pressure on it with our finger and thumb like you might with some other materials.
Well, it looks brand new still.
Yeah, it's got absolutely no wear. Pretty sweet. I still like natural cordage though. I gotta get me some more dog bane and whip up some natural cordage and do this whole setup all naturally, using a rock to carve my notch and everything. Harvest all the materials on the spot while I'm out in the woods. And just for the record, that ember, that coal, is still burning.
Yeah, I think it's under the piece of wood now, I would have to think.
Yeah, it's actually just made it up to the wood. There's a little bit of ember and the wood is burning too.
Yeah, I think it's a much better size for me.
It's definitely smoking.
This thing's smoking off both ends.
Might have not cut your knots deep enough, maybe. 'Cause it's piling up, but it's not like. Although.
Yeah, the notch is straight down. The hole's not very deep, but the notch goes all the way straight down. It's a V all the way through, I think.
It looks like it's sort of hung. It's not falling down through the notch.
Yeah.
But there's enough of it there that probably
Yeah, it's
should
definitely
be
a
able to-
better height though. Maybe a little bit taller, but I think it's somewhere between this and that one is a good height for. My arm might be a little bit longer, maybe,
Oh.
or something.
Well, I have a bunch of stick right there. You could make a
Oh, if I want to see it, this one so far is
custom one.
working. But this one's definitely burning up on both ends. Because that's the end up here, and it's totally, I mean, you can see the black up there as well.
Oh.
So it's definitely, or no, I actually got that bass backwards.
Yeah, that spindle's getting kind of small.
Yeah, because I can totally hold it still.
Okay, that ember just fell through. It's starting to really pile up. Oh, it's definitely piling up now. You got it at an angle. The spindle's at an angle.
Whew. Yeah, I was pressing down really hard that time.
But that was definitely, I thought you
Yeah.
had a number there. But I noticed at the end when you were pressing, you started.
Yeah, I was just getting wore out. It's like, oh. Oops.
My.
Burning freaking stick in my eye.
Breathe.
I know, it's like, oh, whenever I bend over, it's like, oh, the pants and everything just like squish. It's like,
Well, you got a whole big gob of ember there, or dust, I mean. Just gotta get it hot enough to light. I would just try to maintain what you're doing, because it's smoking enough and it's got the right sound.
Oh. Stay there.
The spindle's smoking.
I know, it's like, oh.
Yeah, you got an ember on it.
This one was kind of.
yeah, it's almost a tiny bit too short, I think. What this does for me, holding this, it's not even the thumb, it's actually just holding it, is it keeps this from wobbling as much like this, because it's when it's out here, it's not as close to this, so it's, because whether I had just my thumb or the whole thing did it, just made it that little bit tighter, so and it was closer, so it wasn't as wobbly.
Okay.
That's what it seemed like.